How do everyone? It's a rainy day, as you might be able to hear, in the north of England, so I thought this would be a good time to have a look at worn shock blocks and the problems that they can cause when using just a standard Matrix 2 setup or using a Matrix 2 setup with the mod plates. So what we've got here is a orange shock block that's had a fair bit of use on a preload bolt. So where they mate together, that wants to be a nice firm fit, but you know that it's pretty loose. So when you're riding over time, yeah, the shock block can come away from the preload bolt, which, unless you're riding on a super loose setup, isn't that much of an issue, but it's something that you kind of don't want. We want to rule out that problem. So let's have a look at a setup which is the loosest setup you can possibly ride. Have a closer look at what can happen when you're riding and how to just quickly and cheaply stop that from happening. Okay, so we have a setup using yellow shock blocks, the softest shock blocks that you can get. Now, not many riders use the yellows because they are really soft, and even less riders use yellow without any sort of preload. But, you know, horses and courses, we've got to cover every eventuality. So let's have a look at what happens if you've got a loose shock block riding yellows. So even just by hand, I can crank the trucks enough to actually pull the shock block clean out of the setup. So that is obviously going to be a disaster when you're riding. So we want to make sure that that shock block does not come away from the lower preload bolt. So, and the way we do that is pretty simple, and it is through the magic of electrical tape. So UPVC tape, electrical tape, it's pretty thin. It's a really good way of taking the slack out of the system. So we have our trusty orange demo shock block that's seen better days. It's pretty sloppy fit. We've got our preload bolt, and together they were just, yeah, not up to much. So what I'm going to do is just avoiding the threads on the preload bolt. I'm just going to wind the tape around probably about 5 times. Well, I'm actually not actually counting, probably about 5 I reckon. Pull that off, twist the end, snip off the excess. Now that should be actually require a little bit of force to put that in place now. Okay, so that's gone all the way in, and that is not going anywhere. So really easy fix. Get a bit more life out of your shock blocks, run loose settings with peace of mind, and roll of electrical tape. Probably pick it up from any sort of hardware store, get something half decent, so you're probably wanting to spend about £1 UK on something. Yeah. So anyway, before I go, I just want to say thanks to all the riders that have invested in the mod plates, for all your feedback. I'm glad so many people are enjoying them, and it's just improved the use of their trucks, and they're just having a whale of a time on them. So it just makes it all worthwhile, because obviously I'm not getting rich from this, and it's, you know, it's time, it's effort, it's expense, and it's just, but it's so worth it to get that feedback from riders who are just having a blast on their, you know, new lease of life with their Matrix 2s. So yeah, all feedback is much appreciated. Want to keep on moving, keep on improving things, and yeah, just got a few ideas for some next modifications, and I'll keep you in a loop. So cheers.